Let me thank you for joining us here today. What we're doing is celebrating 50 years of ESGR service to the country. And so that you have a feel for what we're all about, we have a very significant mission. And that mission primarily is a mission of education and recognition and mediation. These three elements constitute our volunteer support team as we help guardsmen and reservists work out a strong working partnership with their employers. And of course, that doesn't just happen. We all have to work at it. And for 50 years, ESGR has been integral to creating these positive relationships between reservists and their employer. Well, as I mentioned, it takes a very special volunteer to step up to the plate, learn all the nuances of what it is to be a volunteer, and throw their passion and their most precious commodity, that is time, into this effort. And we have an individual with us today that exemplifies really the extraordinary contributions of our volunteers. Terry Smith, Terry Williams, has been at this for many decades, serving our country. He has served with the United States Army Guard, and in that capacity rose to the highest enlisted grade, offering his leadership and capability. We're extremely proud of his past service and even more proud after he took retirement to dedicate his time and energy to continuing to improve the lives and well-being of our Guard and reservists. Terry, I have a few questions for you today, and I really want to extend my personal thanks for you joining us.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure to deal with you.
Okay, Terry, just to help out our audience a little bit, I'll be asking you a few questions, but probably the top question on our minds is, can you tell us why ESGR, why employers support the Guard and Reserve?
I had a long relationship with Major General Pete Gravitt. He was my battalion commander at one time and supported my promotion to Command Sergeant Major. And he at the time was the president of the 40th Division Alumni Association. And I went to one of their luncheons, and I didn't know at the time he was also the Southern California chairman for ESGR. And when he said hello, he put his great big old arm around my neck and said, "You're going to do me a favor and help me out." And I, of course, was smart enough to say, "Yes, sir, what can I do?" And he asked me to join ESGR, and I did. And that was a time when there were a lot of yellow ribbon ceremonies going on as soldiers were coming back from deployment. And I found that I enjoyed that. I enjoyed dealing with the young soldiers. And that's about the time I met our good friend Pat Kirkendall. And he also inspired me, got me involved, and kind of guided me along and set my path. And I've been at it ever since.
One thing I want our audience to know that not only have you volunteered, but you've also been an innovator, looking for new ways that we can improve our services to our troops. But that comes with experience. And can you give us an idea how long you've been a volunteer?
Someplace around 15 years. That's what they've got recorded on paper. I honestly have not tracked it that closely. I just know it's one of those things that I do to pay back to my country and spend time with young soldiers.
Well, with that kind of experience behind you, both as a military member who has basically deployed a lot of young men and women to combat and back, and in addition to that, preparation, continue to prepare them as they inherit these special responsibilities, since our Guard and Reserve constitute almost 40% of our total mobilization capability in the Department of Defense. So the job of national defense can't be done without them and without our volunteers supporting them, because it makes for a strong team. Terry's demonstrated that in many, many ways. But Terry, obviously, if you're there for a long time, what are the components that make you stay? Is there something that you can point at that says, "Oh, this is really what gets me going, lifts me up"?
I enjoy the fellowship with folks like yourself and the other leaders in ESGR in California. I feel honored to work with a group of outstanding people, both military and civilian background, and I get strength off of their knowledge and their experience. But if I could say one thing, it's dealing with the young soldiers. And when I get a chance to talk with those kids, and at our age, they're all kids to us now, I get a lot of strength out of that. It sends me back home knowing that our country is in good hands with the leadership they have and with the attitude of those kids that defend our nation.
Outstanding. And what is your job actually? What sort of things are the ESGR organization committee here in California asking you to do?
Well, I was honored to be asked by you to be a part of the SRP program, Soldier Readiness Program. It's a pass-through program where everybody who gets deployed goes through, gets their briefings on their benefits and what's expected of them, what's available for them. They go through a medical screening, and then they go through a records check. And at some point in that admin day, they come through us. We talk to them about ESGR, ask them how their relationship with their employer is there anything we can do to help, and do they want to recommend their employer for a Patriot Award? And we take that information and then turn that into a Patriot Award. So we're taking their compliments to their boss and expressing them and building that relationship with employers.
Well, tell me, Terry, there's a rumor going around that you're also expanding your volunteer services into what we consider a legal area, which is we call an ombudsman. Can you explain what an ombudsman is, and why would you be interested in doing that?
I was asked a couple of times and finally found room in my schedule, and so I went through the training and became an ombudsman. An ombudsman is a neutral party, tries to bring the service member and the employer together and find some common ground so that whatever differences they may have, we can work out in a friendly manner and get them resolved so that not only does the employer feel like he's represented and he's getting his money's worth from his employee, but the service member feels like his service is being respected and that his boss understands what it is that he does and how important it is to the nation.
Well, I want our viewers to know that Terry Williams is a remarkable individual, and his passion and commitment to this has allowed us to accomplish our mission year in and year out, and in fact has been one of the planks in this ship, which we consider a flagship for the entire nation in terms of how we've extended our services out to employers and to our service members in the Guard Reserve throughout California. Terry, we salute your past service. We thank you for being available for this interview, and we look forward to another 20 years together.
Always my pleasure, sir.
Thank you.